more than mistake. Not fall victim to her ever-changing fate. My life is bloody, folded to her arms again. I consider ways to make her pay. So tonight, these ending.
Hey everyone, Anthony here with Bangin Beers Podcast. We are back, and Happy New Year, everyone. Behind the curtain, though, it is not New Year's, but this episode will air after the New Year. So thank you for joining us on our journey for 2020. Pretty much what you're seeing at the table now is going to be the team for the most part, unless you can't make it home from New York that weekend, then it'll just be us three. But this is kind of like the team that you're going to see going forward. We are stepping up our social media game, so there is more things going on Facebook and stuff, so you can see some beer reviews, and when we're out places, we're taking little photos or clips. So if you guys like what you hear, check out the links below. We do have a merch page, donation tab, and links of every brewery, Facebook, and their website will be listed below. We have a unique lineup, a little bit of everything here. We'll go through the list in a moment. We have our first beer poured. It is going to be Lawson's Finest Liquid Sip of Sunshine. Now, I just had this the other day. Saturday, we went to the Crowbot show. Me, my little brother, Austin, who was on the last episode, Tyler Smar at Bad Maggie. I don't know, I'm so out of breath. I'm like fat. I just got up and turn the camera on. Yeah, I'm like dying. And we had Andrew Hare from Hands Resist and Faith in Exile, which you heard in the intro music. Andy is a really educated beer guy. Like, he knows his shit. He knows his way around. If we were to ever have a permanent or a rotating guest who comes on very frequently, it would 100% be him. He's a smart beer dude, and he goes all over the place. He's really good at what he does, and he's really personal. He's fun. But he took us up to West Reading. Really fun place, man. Like, I'm really into local business and small shops and mom and pops, and just I love that scene. Like, I wish more stuff in School County had that, where you walk down the street and there's shops and boutiques and stuff. Like, what was that place we went to where you went for a bike ride in Maryland and me, Mom, Frederick,
Maryland.
It was. Is it Frederick? Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, Frederick. It was awesome, man. Like, every window had a support local sticker, and you could just literally walk down the street. It was absolutely gorgeous, beautiful stuff to do. It was just really, really cool, man. I wish there would be more of that in our area, but West Reading has that. And it literally looks like houses. Like, you just walk down the street and it's like people's porches, and you just go up and it's a shop. Really cool. So right across the street was Chatty Monks. We didn't go in there. So we only went to Beer and Wall on Penn. That's what it's called. But has any of you ever been there?
I have not, no.
I've never been there.
All right. So pretty much what you do is you walk in, and the food is amazing. I had a burger. It was riddled with onions, and it's cooked in the burger, so I just had to deal with it. But it was good. It was really good. But yeah, so you walk in and you pay with your bank card, and they give you a Dave & Buster's card type deal, where it's like a fake card, but it works on their system. And then there's 30 taps with a self glass cleaner, and then all your glassware is below it. So you could pick whatever glassware you want, and it's all self-served. And you walk up, you put your card in, and then there's a screen with 2 beers on it for each tap. And then you top your thing, and it gives you a full description of the beer, and then you put your card in the one slot, and it lights up saying, okay, you're ready. You tap on the beer, hit the handle, and you pay by the ounce. So if you only want this much beer, and you're like, I want to see if I like it first, you can literally get $1.20 pour, or not even $1.20. You could do a 50-cent pour. Mm-hmm. It's hard, because it does come quick. I think the cheapest pour I got was 65, 70 cents. It was a little bit. And then you can try it, and then you hit you pull your card out, and then by the end of the day, I think I had my tab was 11 or $12, and I tried 5 or 6 beers.
That's not bad at all.
No, yeah. And they had an awesome selection. I showed a picture of it on the page, but then upstairs they have 10 more. Now, even if you're not a craft beer drinker, they do have a Bud Light tap. They have a Yuengling tap, so they do have domestics, but not many.
So you're saying they have a water fountain?
They do. They have a water fountain for you. They do spirits. So if you're I think there was a beer club when we were there.
Yeah.
I didn't bother nobody, but I was like, because they had bottles all over the place. So they brought in their own bottles and had a big party. Sorry, I think I'm you got me sick in 30 seconds. Andy was dying on the last show. He was it didn't even sound like him.
Right.
And then we go upstairs, and it's all old school arcade machines. So you have like Mortal Kombat 1, Ninja Turtles, not Turtles in Time, just Ninja Turtles, Miss Pac-Man, Foosball, NBA Jam, which me and Austin played and had a fucking blast. And it's all free. Like, you don't have to, you just hit the start button and you're there. If you die, you hit your button, you're back in the game. Like, you can play it all day long. Then they have 10 taps upstairs that you can just stay up in the arcade and do those 10 taps. The one beer I had up there was awful. I had one beer that I think I gave the lowest score that I've ever given.
I'm actually surprised with that place that they let you serve your own alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get around the law with that because that's
So I had-
there must be something going on.
I'm not
I'm
sure.
quite curious about that, too.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like you can self-serve yourself. I mean, that's kind of defeats
I think,
bartenders.
well, they do have a lot of people who kind of like are around, if you can say. So if you're clearly intoxicated, they'll be like, I think they will cut you off.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like it's like a free for all. Like, I didn't see anyone there like
Oh, I wouldn't think
over
yeah,
drunk.
No.
Like, so do I think it would work in School County?
No.
Probably not.
No.
It was fine there. You know what I mean? I think people respect it.
Right.
So I had an Imperial Blizzard by Ember Clark Cider Works. Have anyone ever had anything?
No.
It literally tasted like medicine. It was.
Ooh,
I gave it a.
Not good.
What, was it a cider?
Yeah, it was a cider.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it just on that alone.
I've had ciders I've liked, like that place you brought.
Oh, Beacon Skip.
Beacon Skip.
1911.
Remember the cider episode we did?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
1911.
No, that was I had the cider episode. We did that with Hands Resist. That was just an interview.
Oh,
then
yeah,
we
yeah,
busted
yeah.
out the ciders. But I gave that a 0.25.
I'm
Like
just
it was
not a cider person.
It was really, really bad. But I'll just give you a little rundown of what I had when I was there. So I had Pete Supernova from Almanac Beer Company. I gave that a 3.5. I got my Happy Hanukkah badge. I had Eclipse Peach Brandy, which is a stout. I gave it a 4.25. Did not taste like coffee. It was like it didn't have like the brandy overpowering, but it was like a chocolate peach brandy stout. It was awesome. So I actually reviewed a stout beer. And then I had Sip of Sunshine. I gave it a 3.5 that day. We'll see if it's any different in can.
Right.
And then after that place, there's a few I didn't check in because I was playing games. But then we went over to Spring House, which is beautiful.
Yeah, I've been there.
They have an arcade, but you do have to pay by quarter.
Yeah.
They do have not WrestleFest, but WB Superstars. The machine was broke. We couldn't play it. But I got the Jupe when I was there. Fantastic beer. I love, like, Jupe is really, really good. I gave it a 3.75, but that easily could have been a 4. Like, that's something that if it was there, I would drink all day long. Like, I loved it. I liked it that much.
Yeah, Big Gruesome is like their kind of staple beer, which
Yeah.
is their.
Yeah.
I think it's like a chocolate peanut butter
Yeah,
stout.
beautiful place.
Yeah.
We were there, and I guess there was an Eagles game going on, so it was like 90-cent wings, or like really, really cheap wings, and like $2 cheesesteaks or something. It was like really cheap prices.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
My all-time favorite beer from them, and they don't can it or bottle it or anything. They do She Monster, which is a mango IPA, but they do it with jalapenos.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's like a mango jalapeno.
Well, that's like their
IPA.
flagship,
Really
the
good.
the She Monster, right?
Yeah. Well, the IPA, that's
Yeah.
their flagship IPA.
Yeah, I had that before, so I tried the Jupe. And then on Christmas Eve, we had a plethora of bills, and I didn't check them all in. I kind of lost track, but the one I did check in was one you gave me, the Fruit Dream with peach rings. Not as much of a peach ring taste as I thought.
Yeah.
I think the coconut came a little stronger than the peach.
That was actually just peach and peach rings only.
Well, it did have a coconut profile to it too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was peach and
Okay.
coconut. Yeah.
Whoa.
It was good. I liked it. 3.75. But that's pretty much what I've done since then. What would you guys since the last episode? Have you tried anything? Gone anywhere?
Well,
Go ahead.
Okay. I had a bottle of Corolla from Aslan. It was their 14% barley wine. I brought it over at Steve's for his party.
What time did you leave there?
I left there. Oh, geez. I think I left around like maybe 1 or 2.
I left at 2.
I mean, like maybe like a half hour after you.
Oh,
maybe.
I said to Steve, I said he's probably asleep on your couch because
No,
it looked
I
like
was
you were
just
just
like-
getting rolling.
No, I was just like, no. I was just like being really cool about everything, you know.
Really
But,
cool people there.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool people.
But the Corolla really surprised me. It was conditioned on coconuts. You had the little bit of the bourbon barrel, but it was like really buttery. It was like really like rich. I was like, wow, this is impressive. I was really contemplating about bringing the other one that was conditioned on almonds and seeing what was gonna happen with that one, but I'm like, you know what? Now I brought my own. So
Yeah.
But that was really the one that I got overall. So
Cool. What about you?
I haven't really had anything new because most of my pickups are when I'm like working, honestly, because I do a lot of traveling with my job. So most of the pickups I do are stops and towns that I go to. But I've been off since like the week of Christmas.
Yeah.
So, but I have beer on tap, so I pretty much just hit that. Right now I have Connecticut Valley Brewing Midnight City, which is a really good hazy IPA. It's like my favorite from them. And then I'm still powering through the Yingling Chocolate Porter.
Nice.
Which is good, but...
I'll tell you what's really been really cool. Like, it happened to me twice over the little break we had. So it happened once at Steve's party. It happened to me at the Crowbot show. And then it happened somewhere else. I'm trying to remember where. But someone came up to you and they asked a question about the show. Like, one of the shows. Like, so the one was, how did Ben's date go on Not Cool in High School? And I was like, holy fuck. And they're like, well, we never got the answer. And I was like... That's awesome. Like that people like they want to.
I know. I was shocked too.
And then we had one on like the other podcast where they asked a question like, well, what happened with this? Like it's something we brought up and it's never addressed.
Yeah.
So it's really cool that that like people are legit tuning in and like they're taking it in, they like it. So like we're hitting our marks. We're doing. And we appreciate all of you for sticking around with us.
The one other thing I was going to say about Springhouse is they have another good beer there that I've had. That Big Gruesome is like the chocolate peanut butter stout.
That's actually on can at the Craft House right now.
Yeah, and then every once in a while they do a Little Gruesome, which is a chocolate peanut butter and jelly stout.
Oh,
which is pretty good too. But you didn't have the Santa like got captured by Martians. I know that's like
the eggnog.
Yeah,
No,
the holiday.
it was there, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So I was going through a really weird thing that day. So this isn't a knock against the we kind of did a little sponsor for them. So I didn't eat at all that day. So I woke up.
I actually had octopus at Springhouse before.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like a sci-fi horror themed. When you walk in, it's all Christmas. Like they did a really good job decorating, but their beers are like sci-fi horror themed, and then all their stuff is like right in the back. You can see where they brew it. It's really cool. But I woke up. I didn't eat. Did we do something in the morning? I forget. But I woke up, didn't eat, and I took one of my CBD pills, and I didn't remember taking it. So then I was like, man, my neck, because I kinked my neck. Actually, no, I did the Loki and Layla the day before, and then the PPW.
Yeah.
So I was really run ragged. Like we did PPW, and then before in the morning we did the grand opening for Loki and Layla. So I pinched my neck really bad, like to the point where I couldn't turn my neck. So I was like, all right, took my pill. Then halfway through the day, I was like, oh, right before I leave the house, because I was running around getting everything ready. I think I set all this up the day before I left for that show. And I had to get the on the road equipment ready. So I was going to run out the door. I was like, shit, I didn't take my pill. And then I took a gummy. So I like double dosed CBD on an empty stomach, and you're supposed to take it with food. And it gave me like, it didn't get me sick, but it gave me like a lightheaded feeling all day. And then I got hungry and I was shaking. And then I started drinking before the food got there. So then I'm kind of like, I kind of fucked myself. And then I ate, and I just didn't recover until late in the night. So like we get to the next brewery, and I'm just now like I'm having a hard time finishing my jupe, and it was like my acid reflux was kicking at the same time. My pills were like I took too much. Like I didn't overdose. Like I don't want people to, oh, you can't overdose. I didn't overdose. It was nothing, but it was just like I didn't take it properly, and I took it too much too quick. And then I just was kind of not like messed up, but I just wasn't in the mood to do much. Like I was kind of too mellow, if it makes any sense. Yeah. And then we get to the concert, and I kind of just snapped back out of it, and I was good. But
Springhouse, I was going to say they have 2 locations too, so it sounds like you were to the main one.
Yes, we were at the one that was right by the Chameleon Club.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's the one where it has the big parking lot like out front, and you kind of walk up into it, I think, and then you go in, and then the bar's like right in front of you.
Yes.
And then you can go upstairs where the video games are.
Yep,
that's the one I was to. They have like another location too. I've never been to it, but I think it's more of like a smaller bar type deal.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was really cool.
That's cool. You got to go. That's a nice place.
Mm-hmm. So what about you?
I had 2 beers since we last got together. I went for a bike ride last weekend, and I had I stopped in a place called World of Beer, which I thought was a carry-out place. Turns out it's a restaurant with a ton of beers on tap and bottling.
Which one were you to?
Exton.
Okay, I've seen that one, yeah.
Nice place, good food. And I tried the Cubano-style espresso brown ale, which you won't like it, Junior, because it has coffee in it. But it was a nice coffee, malty, dark beer. Really tasty, nice and smooth. And then the other night I was up in New York, went out for a beer, and when I went home, when I went back to my New York apartment, went across the street for a beer, and I had the left-hand stout chai milk stout.
Okay.
Chai milk stout nitro in a can, and that was really good. If you've ever had the left-handed milk stout,
I've had beer from Left Hand. I don't think I've had that particular one. I may have.
they're creamy, smooth, a nice cinnamon finish. Someone said it tastes like the chai tea that you can get. I didn't.
Okay, that makes sense.
I picked up a slight tea tasting to it, but more of the cinnamon. It wasn't overpowering. It was just a nice cinnamon finish that just lasted a long time, but it wasn't really overpowering. I thought it was really good. I will probably try that one again. That was about it.
Have you any other? Have any other guys ever been to World of Beers before?
No.
Yeah,
No,
I've been
I
to the
haven't.
one in Maryland. It's pretty cool. I think they rotate out taps there. I want to say almost daily they rotate their beer on tap.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty overwhelming. But they're a chain. I don't know how many there are. In fact, I think my wife's one friend knows the owner or someone who's heavily involved in the one in Maryland. But yeah, it's a cool place. I
gotta take a ride.
Definitely a lot of beer. Yeah, it's like the one in Maryland's by Inner Harbor. It's like down in that area.
We always try to make like a trip to Maryland or Baltimore every year, whether it be like going to a Redskins game or a DC United game, or for the most part, we've always done Baltimore or Maryland at least once every other year.
They have really
Yeah, we haven't
good.
been there in a while.
We went there last
one
year.
was DC United game.
Yeah, we went to the DC United game.
Yeah.
It's a fun time out there.
They have really good soft pretzels at World of Beer. They bring them out like where they hang on like these. It's kind of
Like a hook?
like this, yeah, and they like hang them on a hook. They're huge. They're really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Now that we have like this kind of laid out, and once we kind of get to this, like I don't gonna call it hell month, but January, February, I'm going hard at recording, so I kind of have a cushion for the year. But once like those 2 months, and then the weather starts picking up and it's nicer, man, we'll take some drives. We'll go out to some
Yeah.
places. Some other breweries. We're not anything locked in yet, but there is some other opportunities to go to some breweries as well. Our first brewery experience will be at Mellow Mink. Really excited for that. And then we're still in talks with Rotunda. I didn't hear anything back from them yet.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
I'm very confident in that.
So,
I mean, I want to be cocky, but
I'm trying to get
I don't
Rotunda
think
the
it's-
week after Mellow Mink.
Just let me know when
Yeah.
you want to go. And
Yeah,
I'll,
pretty
I'll
much.
talk to
I gave him a date, and he
Mike.
goes, "Let me check with my brewers, and we'll find out what's good."
Right.
And I just didn't hear anything back, and it was a holiday, so I didn't bug him.
Yeah.
So I'll probably message him like Monday, or I mean after the New Year.
Yeah, like just let me know. I'll say something to
Yeah.
him. That's cool.
They just had a beer that's coming out. That's coming out tomorrow. That cherry. That I put on the
That
page.
and there's another one that
The
they put like in.
triple IPA is coming out, like 9.8%.
Didn't they have one with the Slipknot guy's mask on it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like the 16.8 barley wine. That's like a 19-ounce can. I'm not kidding.
Are
you.
you going for it?
I don't know, but I did see.
It would be just putting it out there. I obviously can't go this weekend. I have a lot going on. I'm going to like 3 different places because but it would be not a bad idea to maybe do like 3 or 4 rotundas and then do it before we go, so they kind of like, oh, okay, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it out there. as I drink from my rotunda glass.
Because I saw that in Hellertown, Lost Tavern's doing like their 3rd anniversary, and they're doing like a brewed IPA, and then there's 2 other ones that they're doing then too, which is a peach and orange beer then too.
Cool.
Doing 3 cans in Hellertown, so
He had a good idea for an episode.
Let me guess. I know what it is.
What?
He wants to do an episode from the One Stop.
No.
Damn.
We weren't recording at the time. He goes, but man, how fun would it be if we did it a presidential all peach beer for the impeachment. We don't draw lines here when it comes to political. It was a funny joke.
Everybody gets picked on.
Yeah, everyone. Like,
Well, there was there was a brewery I saw that did one called that. Who the hell was it? I can't remember.
That's bold.
It'll come to me. It was called I'm Peached. I think it was called. I can't remember who it was. Maybe Stone did it.
Because people get crazy over that. Like, I will boycott you forever. You made fun of my president. Like, it's just so crazy.
They're fucking nuts.
Yeah, both sides get it. Like, it just, I don't know, just bad news. But yeah. So, what does everyone think of their sip of sunshine?
I've had Sip of Sunshine before, and
I did too.
It's good. I mean, it's from Vermont. I don't think it's as good as like stuff from Alchemy, but it's still good. I had the one of this that I'd really like to have. They have a double sunshine, which is the double IPA of this.
So
I've never had it.
When I had this on tap, I had more of a floral experience. Mm-hmm. Like I kind of had that flowery experience. This one is just more like just an IPA.
This is more of like a West Coast IPA in my opinion. But yeah, I've had it before. If you go to like Connecticut, you can get it really easy up there. And it's funny, like I seen this beer one time up at is it called Pantry Quick up in Hazleton?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like on the corner. They had it there for some reason. I don't know how the guy had it or where he got it from.
So check this out real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off. So I just checked in the beer, and it just said, nearby verified venue. Striker's Pub, Pottsville, Pennsylvania, is an untapped, verified.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good for them.
Too.
Good for them. We've done some episodes there. Untapped. If you want to hook a brother up, bring a beers badge, that'd be great.
But I think like when I had this
I've had a beer on Bangin Beers podcast. Imagine that badge.
Yeah.
That would.
In Hazleton, I think this was like $5 or $6 a can. I mean, it was really expensive. Like,
really?
Yeah, they like jacked up the price because they knew what they had.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's good. You know.
All right.
I gave it a 3.25. Floral, hoppy.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge IPA fan, but it wasn't bad.
I gave it a point score higher than I previously gave it. So I had a 3.25. Now I went 3.75.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I
like it.
I had this way back, like when really the craft was really taking off.
Right.
Now, just to give you an idea, this is about like 4 years ago. That's how far it was. And the one girl actually went to Vermont in order to actually get it then too. So it wasn't like easily distributed as it is now. Mm-hmm. And
it's still not in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You on this one?
That's so. He's cracking open the bottle, which is a stout. I'm going to do a small pour, and I already have that cracked, so I can immediately get the taste of coffee in my mouth.
Yeah, but this Sip of Sunshine is one of the first like sort of renowned IPAs, I would say. You know, this and Heady Topper were like pretty much so head in head. No pun intended, but I mean, you know, for me, I gave it a 4 or 5 back then.
Wow.
I don't think it's quite as good now because there's so much competition and stuff, but it's still a great
beer,
non-hazy, like West Coast style IPA.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what it used to be because there's so much competition and we're so spoiled on those hazy IPAs, but for a West Coast IPA or just a regular IPA, it's still a very, very good beer.
So this is an 8% ABV, 65 IBU, Sip of Sunshine from Lawson's Finest Liquids. It's a double, Imperial double. It has 2 check-ins from friends, which is probably used to.
Of course, yeah.
And then total friends is 21 check-ins with the average score of 4.41 with friends. It has 161,000 check-ins, and its average is a 4.37.
Yeah, this is like a beer that's been around for a long time as far as IPAs go. I mean, this has been a pretty big heavy hitter beer, you know.
So now we're jumping to. I actually thought this was a Hudson Valley because when I looked at the bottle, I didn't read the whole thing, but this is from the Vale Brewing Company.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
What?
Wow.
It smells like just like alcohol. I mean, that doesn't smell like beer. It just smells like booze.
I get a chocolate smell.
This is gonna be rough for me. I can tell.
It's motor oil.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
don't know
I
how
can
to
tell
take
this
that.
is going to be a really rough. Just by the smell alone, I can tell it's going to be.
It has a
rough.
boozy chocolate smell.
Did you
Buffalo-
try it?
Not
Buffalo
yet.
Trace.
I just smelled it.
Buffalo Trace bourbon barrel aged.
Yeah. You know what?
I want to like this because I like everything in Virginia. Oh
I'm
my-
not a fan
Virginia,
of
DC.
bourbon, and I have a feeling this is going to taste like bourbon.
All right, I'm getting a little hint of coffee.
Yeah.
Smooth. I was rather smooth bourbon.
It's not as bad as the 16, 18.
No, it wasn't bad as
What-
the last.
What are we
the last
looking at
one.
here when it comes to some stats?
I just keep.
So let me
Well,
let
there-
me do that. I have them pulled up. here.
2,133 check-ins
I keep smelling it. I'm like,
with an average of 4.2.
So this is Curtains 2.
Curtains 2. This is a stout imperial. This is
11%.
It's oh wow, 11%. Yeah, 11%. Total 2,511 people. 76 people monthly got it. It's an imperial stout brewed with pineapple puree, candied pineapple chunks, coconut cream, flake coconut, Tahitian vanilla beans, and Virginia clover honey, and then
Everyone's
blended
smacking.
in two Buffalo Trace bourbon barrels of 17-month-old Paul Bear for an extra layer of subtle depth and complexity. Brewed in collaboration with Hudson Valley, hot fudge sundae, sticky milk chocolate, fondue, pineapple upside down cake, toasted marshmallows, melted Mounds bars, and spoonfuls of drippy honey.
Coffee.
Everything but everything but the kitchen sink.
for those you for people who are watching who saw me drink this beer, I think you can tell what I think of this beer. And I'm gonna take one more sip, and this is gonna be the last sip that I take of this beer because I'm gonna finish the whole thing because I'm gonna power through it because this is not something that I normally drink. So
This is my
Cheers.
This is my glass rinser while we talk. New Trail. Shout out to you guys. Love you guys. Oh wow, you just chugged it. Good for you. I'm gonna have a bourbon aged chocolate pineapple everything in the kitchen sink heliocentric IPA or heliocentric ale.
I gotta wash my glass out, guys.
Yeah.
All right. So when we were at Steve's place right before we left, I have a tie for my favorite Bens in the world, and you're the other tie. But Ben from the Crimson House and everything, we were leaving. He goes, "I have a beer for you. I have a case of it, and I would, you guys can do it on the show." He gave me Master of Pumpkins from Trogs.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It's a aged brewed with pumpkin and spices. So, I mean, if we're feeling up for it at the end, we can do it. If not, I just wanted to give him a shout out for hooking us up with a beer.
All right.
Yeah. All right. I didn't rinse my glass. I just kind of double up here.
You're plowing through it.
I got one word for that beer. Woof.
It tastes great when you add a new trail to it.
I'm not a fan.
Oh, did you guys see that this one place is selling half and half growler cans? So they're taking 50% Mad Elf, 50% Hershey chocolate porter, and selling it as like a cuvee,
That's cool.
No.
like a chocolate cherry, like PA beer. They're calling it pretty much. I don't remember the website, the place that's doing it, but I did see it on social media. So if you guys know what it is, comment below.
The one other thing I did see that's kind of, I guess, like a bit of news is I saw, and I want to say that I'm 100% on this, but I'm like 90% sure that Yingling rebranded Lord Chesterfield as Chetty.
Oh yeah, that was kind of something. They did that like Brewfest. Like the can physically says Chetty.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, which is I'm
So
cool
that's
with.
old news.
I mean, I don't know if they completely rebranded it, but on the can it just says Chetty.
Did you tell people on the show? It's brand new.
It's brand new. But did we talk about the flight last episode?
I don't know if we talked about it, but I know it's obviously on the page and
Yeah.
stuff. You know?
So remember when I was saying I think on the last episode we were talking about it happened after our episode. But on the episode we talked about, I said I have someone who works at Yingling, and during their company party they had a beer that's not out yet. That was that beer.
okay.
The flight.
The
Michelob Ultra.
Michelob Ultra.
The Dicky Lights.
I'm
Gotcha.
to me, it's like
Listen, it's not for us.
I'll try it, but
Yeah, 100%. I'll try it, but
for me,
that beer is not for us. Literally, what Yingling, if Yingling is smart, which I believe they are, they're a smart company. So if you're a Yingling rep or a Yingling guy, and you walk into a beer, walk into
beer.
a beer or a bar or anywhere, when for the most part your competitions are the Miller Lights, the Bud Lights, so they made Yingling Light, right? So that it didn't catch on, but it does help. There are people who are now Yingling Light drinkers over the Miller Light, but it's hard to squash that. You know what I mean? And then you look in the trash can of every bar, and it's filled with Michelob Ultra because I'm not saying it's a woman's beer, but that's what a majority of the women that go out to the bar, they have Michelob Ultras. If they don't have Michelob Ultras, they're doing like Twisted Teas, or they're doing. And if you're a guy who drinks any of these, I am not picking on you. I'm just doing by a demographic.
Yeah, but like, look.
And then like the seltzers are getting big. I don't see Yingling diving in the seltzer.
The seltzer and stuff like that has a lot of alcohol in it.
Yeah, they
These
do.
light beers have no alcohol in them.
Yeah.
I mean, and to me, light beer is like drinking decaf coffee.
Yeah.
Why? You know, I don't get it. You know.
But so I can definitely see them going in and be like, Michelob sells very well in our own backyard. Mm-hmm. Let's make an answer to that.
Look, if there's money to be made, all for it.
Yeah.
Am I going to drink it? No.
No, it's not made for us. It's definitely not made for your hardcore beer drinkers. But I think from a business standpoint, they need to be like,
hey.
So here's the only problem with Yingling. When you turn on TV every day, you see, Bud Light commercials, Miller Lite commercials. So even in your own backyard, it's hard for people to say like, well, what does this beer compare to? If they went out and said, hey, if you like Miller Lite, then you should try Yingling Light. Like, this is something that they should put out there as a marketing campaign, and we can help. But like that's what you're aiming for. You're trying to switch people over from Miller Lite, Bud Light to Yingling Light. You're trying to switch people over from Michelob Ultra
I'm still
to
shocked.
Flight.
In fairness to Yingling, they don't have to advertise in Schuylkill County.
They do though.
They don't really need to.
And very rarely do they do like commercials. Like
They're not a
it's
big
banners.
they're not
Commercials.
one to spend a ton of money on
I
advertising.
agree. I know that.
They do a lot
They
of
never were.
billboards.
Yeah.
I see a lot of
But-
billboards.
I can tell you, their lager is by far their best seller
Yeah.
all over the place. You walk into
Premium does really well too.
you walk into a bar in New York and you ask for a Yingling and you get a lager. And I keep telling them, I said, you ask for a Yingling back home, you're getting a completely different beer.
Yeah, you're getting a premium.
You're getting a premium, and they don't even know
What
there's-
premium is?
They don't even know that there's other versions of Yingling beer, other
Wow.
tastes.
When you used to work in, we'll just say Long Beach Island, New Jersey, we
Say
we went to this hotel. I stole their hotel room because their hotel had a bar, and the one they tried to put us up with didn't. And I wasn't sharing a room with my grandmother and my girlfriend, wife. I don't think we were married at the time, but girlfriend at the time. Not happening. I'm not going to a beach and sharing a hotel room with my grandmother. So I pretty much made it stink, and then they shared a room with my gram, and we had the hotel with the bar. And I was down in the bar drinking with this girl from Paris, like straight up from Paris. And she's like, "What beer is that?" And I said, "Oh, that's our beer. This is a beer made where I'm from, like in Pennsylvania." And she was like, "This is great. Like, this is a good lager." Like, she loved it. She was like, she loved Yingling. She was like a big fan of it.
No, I think their new beer will. I think it'll do all right because there's a lot.
But here's the thing:
there's a lot of competition with the low carb.
Yes, but they need for someone to be out there saying, "Hey, if you like," they need to educate bartenders.
Yeah.
They need to educate the masses to be like, "If you're a Michelob Ultra drinker, try this beer," because your average go to the bar buy a beer person doesn't know what they just think, I don't like Yingling Lager, I'm not going to like the Flight, and that's not the case.
All right, so let's stop for a minute because here is Untappd's 10 most checked-in beers of the year.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this Untappd is very craft beer oriented. I mean, it was made for us craft beer drinkers. So we'll start with number 10.
Now, is this locally or worldwide?
No, this is worldwide.
Okay.
For 2019, this is the top 10 beers that were checked in on Untappd. Number 10, right up, Bud Light. Flight, could it be the next Bud Light? I mean, Bud Light is shit to me. I mean, I'd rather...
Who's checking that in?
Look,
oh, this will be funny. I'm gonna check this out on Untapped.
Who's checking that in? Over 100,000 people who check that in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who downloads
How do you
Untapped?
find this shit?
He's saying on the app. Where do you
The
find
app.
his
On the app.
check-ins?
Yeah. All right. So number 9 was Hazy Little Things by Sierra Nevada.
Wow.
So a hazy IPA, not too bad, right? Number 8, Corona Extra. You know,
Like, what dirtballs are downloading Untapped and like, I'm
Look.
gonna check a Bud Light and it'd be hilarious. 100,000 people.
There's some people that actually check in, like,
Every beer they drink.
yeah, and like
You're a scumbag.
they do multiples then too. There's actually an achievement where if you drink so many of the same beer, it's like you get an achievement
Yeah.
for that then too.
still over 100,000 people. Okay. Number 7, Goose IPA.
All right, that.
All right, you're sitting down. So I'm number 6, Miller Lite. I mean,
Miller Lite's a huge seller.
look. All right.
But for this app,
All
For
right.
this app, no. For this app.
All right. Number 5, Two Hearted Ale by Bell's.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's the one with the fish on it.
That's a little bit better, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Punk IPA, which I haven't actually had, which is by Brewdog. I'm not even familiar with that. Number 3, Lagunitas IPA.
Okay,
You know, which,
It's all right.
yeah.
It's not bad.
better than Miller Lite.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 2, Heineken.
Wow.
All right. And number 1 by a landslide. I'm talking number 2 is 150,000 check-ins.
Coors Light.
Just slow your roll there. Number 1, over 275,000 check-ins. Number 1. What's your guess?
Coors Light.
Yingling Lager.
I gotta go with the Coors Light as well.
Guinness.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Guinness.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Over 275,000 check-ins for Guinness.
Yeah,
And you know what? I like Guinness.
I can
like
agree
Guinness.
with
I'm
that.
not.
I
I'm
base
not gonna
everything
argue
off
with
of
it.
Guinness.
You know,
when I look at a stout, I base everything off of Guinness. It's just
Now,
it's
where
just
where
the
on
rule.
the app do you find that information?
this is actually on their Facebook page.
Oh, okay.
But number 10, Bud Light. Come on, people, please.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? That goes back to that's similar to the old version of Billboard Top 40, where folks my age were not calling radio stations to request their favorite song. That's why you got these top 40 songs that you're sitting there saying, how the fuck did they get top 40? Because the kids are calling in. We're not calling in to request these songs, and that's what Top 40 is all based on, is requests on the radio. So if you look at it similarly on Untapped, these folks are going in and rating their beer because they go out and they drink that beer and they just rate it all night long, or they rate it that night. And Bud Light,
Yeah.
Coors Light, Miller Light. They got a ton of people that drink their beer.
So I just pulled up top rated beers locally within a 75-mile radius of us. This is just right now top rated, highest overall scores. Number 1 is Canadian Breakfast Stout by Founders, is a 449, 115,000 check-ins. Number 2 with a 440 is Bourbon County Brand Stout by Goose Island.
Stouts 1 and 2. Stout 1 and 2.
Really proud of this one. Number 3 overall checked-in beer in our area over 75-mile radius. Goggles, New Trail Brewing. Like that is the top-rated IPA.
Brought it to the show.
And we had it on the show. Mad Elf Grand Cru is a 404.
I still have a bottle of that.
420 is Pabst Blue Ribbon Coffee.
Oh, dear
Hell
Lord.
yeah.
I love that.
Brought that to Not Cool in High School show. That's good
Yoo-hoo.
shit, man.
You who made the top fucking 10 in the area.
Look,
Yep.
I drink that shit all day long. No problem.
Man, it's good, but
That's good.
Stone Enjoy by 10120 Unfiltered IPA.
Enjoy by is always good from Stone.
Yeah,
in
did
my
not have
opinion.
that. Double Blizzard, which sadly we did not try. Lift Pass by New Trail. So
Yeah.
2 New Trails in the top 10 is awesome.
Trogs-
Lift
two
Pass
Trogs
is
and 2
awesome.
New Trails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, hold your horses. New Trail is not too far behind the next one. So Hershey Chocolate Porter 395.
Wow. Okay.
Nice.
Broken Heel
Yeah.
on the list for 395, beating out Mad Elf and Perpetual Ale and Blizzard Hop. So 3 right in a row for Trogs.
Yeah.
Then it goes Snowflyer Rusty Rail. Then it goes Celebration Hop IPA, Rude Elf's Revenge, Iced Coffee Blonde by Blue Moon,
I have yet to try that. I want to try that.
Blood Orange Cranberry Tart Ale by Trogs, Accumulation by New Belgium. That's a good beer. Then Lager is on the list, traditional Yingling Lager. Winter Cheers by Victory, Sam Adams Winter Lager. I had that the other day. I did not like it. I didn't like it. Golden Pilsner, which is beating out Lord Chesterfield Ale, which I need to start doing more check-ins because I need to get Chester up the list. And that's the top of the 75.
I'll tell you what, Rusty Rails.
New Trail is killing it.
I'm going to give a shout out to Rusty Rails. You've got to go and see their
I want to be
restaurant.
there. Yeah.
You have got to. It's a beautiful place. I would recommend going on a Sunday, make a reservation, and go for brunch. It's a brunch menu, so it's not their full menu, but the food is really good. Even their full menu is really good.
It's a beautiful place.
It
Yeah.
is.
It really is. So I looked up here. I'm just going to give you the top 3. So for people who had a problem with the Bud Light, the style check-in for Untapped this year, the top 3, all IPAs. Number 3, Imperial Double IPA. Number 2, New England IPA. And number 1, American Style IPA. So as far as style-wise with check-ins on Untapped, it's all IPAs.
And then
So IPA is the new. Well, it's been the new rage,
Yeah.
but
and then top breweries locally, Little Log Cabin Brewing Company, in
That's
Ottumore, Pennsylvania.
that's actually Tired Hands' off the cuff like sister brewery.
They're the number 1 ranked brewery,
Yeah, well,
followed
need to do
by
something.
Imprint.
How are you finding this shit?
You go to Discover, then Conclave Brewing Company, which is out of New Jersey, and then Ottumore again with heavy gem, then Spruce Avenue, Plains, Pennsylvania, YFIB Brewing Company, Warwick Brewing Company, Tired Hands, Last Minute Brewing Company, Hollow Earth Brewing Company, Levante Brewing Company, New Trail Brewing Company, Rotunda Brewing Company, South County Brewing Company, Lost Tavern, Forest and Maine Brewing Company, Bond Place Brewing Company, Larson Meadworks, La Cabra Brewing Company, Bill's Best Brewery, 10-7 Brewing Company, Hopping Eagle Brewing Company, Rainy Cellars Brewing Company, Pizza Boy, Therapy Brewing, Short Bus Brew House,
I like that.
Poor Man's Brewing Company, Collusion Tapworks, Funk, Red Hill Brewing Company, and Breaker Brewing Company are the top local within 75 miles of us. Wow.
Well, look, here's my next one. So, again, back to Untapped. These are the top 10 check-ins as far as bottles, cans, draft. Number 8, well, I guess it's not top 10, it's top 8. 8 was Nitro, 7 was a Growler, 6 was a Crowler, 5 was a Cast, 4 was a Taster, 3 was a can, 2 was a bottle, and 1 was draft. So people are drinking a lot of draft beers.
Well, here's the thing. I think a lot of people, too, this is just my opinion, I think a lot of people, because I've watched, I mean, Austin does it all the time, is he'll get a draft taster, and he checks it in as a draft beer. Where instead of taking, like, so if I give you a can and say, hey, try this, and I pour a mouthful in your thing.
Yeah.
Considering a taster.
That's technically a taster because you're not drinking a full can.
Right.
This
Okay.
would actually be like a taster.
Yeah.
So I'm guilty of it. I've been checking these in as bottle or cans.
I would check it in as a bottle or can, too.
Because that's where we're getting it from.
Right.
But when you're out somewhere and someone gives you, like, if you go to a bar and they're like, "Do you want to try this quick?" and they pour you a little bit, you take a mouthful
Right.
and check. When you check
Yeah,
it in,
It's like a
Yeah.
taster.
that's
yeah.
a taster.
Yeah.
That's not a. So I think draft is getting more than it's supposed to because people like you're. And honestly, that could affect the games because if people actually went by that, they're like, "Well, why are we doing flights when people just drink right out of the draft anyway?" And that can eliminate flight games. But I think they're onto that, saying that people do a lot of flights.
How do you check it in as a taster?
It's under the where it would be draft bottle. It's under right there.
Oh, all right.
All right, so one more from Untapped. One more time. These are the top 10 checked-in cities. Okay, this is where all the drunks are.
Come on, School County.
So 10 is Portland. Number 9 is Oslo, Norway. Osio.
We need to
Oslo.
Oslo.
We need
is
a
that-
plane
Oslo.
ticket.
There's no L in there.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Oh, Oslo. Oh, it's an L, not an I. My bad. All right. 7, Amsterdam. 6 is Stockholm. 5 is Philadelphia. PA. Hell
Get it,
yeah.
babe.
4 is Denver. 3 is Chicago. 2 is New York City. And number 1 is London.
Wow.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah, people are using Untapped the most in
London.
That's
awesome.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that. American company,
Yeah. So here's the next beer on our list here. This is Stouds. Now, I had Stouds at the hockey game at the Reading Royals. Everything I've had of them so far, I really enjoyed. I liked it a lot. This is a hoppy lager. I'm a lager. I like lager, but you kind of give it that IPA kick a little bit. I think it's good. You don't like it?
I'm not a fan.
Have you tried it yet? Mm-hmm. All right. So 133 check-ins for the Queen's Hops number 1672 Hoppy Pills, 373. 2 friends check-ins at 3.0. I don't think it's gonna. It doesn't blow me away as a beer, but I enjoy it. I would give it a 3. I think. Let me see what I just did here. A 3.50. That's what I just gave it.
I gave it a 2.5.
Really?
Yeah, it was a bit too bitter for me.
And this can was purchased at the Keg Stand in Monte City. So shout out to those guys. We went in Christmas Eve and we stockpiled.
Yeah.
We stockpiled.
You know that Keg Stand is open 365 days a year,
Yes, it is.
and I think I think they've only closed like one time because the power went out or something like
Yeah.
that in the time that they've been open.
Mm-hmm. So if you ever are like in School County, you're like, man, we need last minute beer, and it's a holiday, the Keg Stand
Keg
always
Stand is
got
it.
you covered.
Keg stand
Yeah.
is it.
And their employees are cool enough to take time away from their families to make sure you got the beer for the day.
Brett that works, he's all right.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a good dude.
We seen Brett for the first time in a long time on Christmas Eve. He was personally there.
I
checking out
seen
the
him
beer.
on
Yeah.
Christmas working there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we bought the variety can pack of Trogs.
Yes.
I got a 6-pack of Santa I Know Him by Evil Genius.
Evil Genius, yeah.
We bought another case, like a little thing of Pocket Knife because we enjoyed it that much.
Yeah.
Then we picked up, that was actually picked up the other day. Then Austin picked up the next beer is the Backwards Flag Brewing Company. And then there was a few other ones we got. I just don't remember what they are.
I don't think this is bad.
No, I like it.
I like it.
3.50.
I when I want beer for the refrigerator, I'll pick it up at the Keg Stand.
Yeah, 100%.
I won't buy it up in New York.
No.
They get good prices there too.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New York taxes are a little higher than
And if
Pennsylvania
you
for
walk
now,
into the
but-
Keg Stand and you're checking out, they have a little frame where you can see the little cool employee in the back. If you check above the frame, you may or may not see a Bangin' Beers podcast sticker
I've seen that there once
right
or
there.
twice.
That's us. We love those guys. They support us, and and they definitely let us know when they're getting new stuff in. They come try it, and Brett's like, "Hey, this is the one you should definitely have on the show." So I love those guys to death. Craft House actually shared our post for the Yingling flight
Yeah, I seen that.
in Minersville, which is
I
cool.
got to give a shout out to Craft House for their growlers of the cans of
yeah.
chocolate porter.
A lot of people, couldn't get the Yingling. I mean, if you don't want to go to a bar, you could have gotten a can of it at the Craft House. So that was a cool thing they did there. I'm like out of breath. I can't.
Bill, who works at the Craft House, is pretty cool. I know that. Got him on Untapped. He's a good dude, yeah.
I don't know who I got at the Craft House.
He's like
Well,
the guy
no,
with the
I mean-
glasses on. got
No,
like
I mean
a
at a Keg
goatee.
Stand. I don't know who I got at the Keg Stand, but he was all right.
He's all right.
Brett.
Yeah. I know I didn't get. I know I didn't get
Was
Brett.
it John?
I forget.
John's cool. I went to
He
high
was just
school with
like
John.
he's just like chilling out. He's just like restocking. I didn't want to bug him. I'm like, hey, can I get like 2 4-packs of Pabst Blue Ribbon hard coffee? And he's like, okay, I'll get in the back and roll in it.
I might
spend it
now I'm going to stop in there and pick up a 4-pack of that because I saw it there the other day.
Yeah, it's doing really well.
And I didn't.
$10. I mean, you really
I did
can't
not
beat
get
that.
one.
So while we're pouring this next beer here, here's my question.
We didn't even rate the other 2 beers.
Yes, we did.
Too many hands in the cookie jar at this point.
Yeah. What do you
No.
guys give the bottle? I
That
didn't
was a
rate it.
little
It's
bit-
coffee.
That was a little bit. That was even strong for me, and there was a lot going on for it. I gave it like a 3.75.
Man, everything is in that fucking beer.
Just because, like, I think if we would have had that maybe a few months, like when it was like fresh, like a few months, that I think that would be a whole different stout. But due to the fact it was just like super sweet, there was a lot going on with it. I think we just, it just sat for way too long.
Yeah, we do have. All right, so we do have some beers coming up that are a little on the older side because we did take a hiatus from the show a little bit. So Ben has a backlog we're trying to burn through without burning ourselves out. Yeah. So, what did you think of the bottle?
I mean,
You gave a review, just didn't give a number score.
look, no, I'm saying, like, I'm sure that's a good beer for the right person. That's
Not for
not
you.
me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me, like, I don't like bourbon. I don't like beers that are real, like, super boozy like that. I don't think the age has anything to do with it because I think beers like that have that high of alcohol content could probably sit for a year and still drink the same. But for me, it's like a 2, and that's a bad score because it's just not my type of beer.
Yeah.
It's very, very boozy. Very, to me, I had to do it two swigs. I couldn't. It's not my type of beer.
You got to get it out of the park.
But you know what I mean? For the right person, I think someone would probably really like that and probably really enjoy that beer. It's just not me. You know, it's like your pops who doesn't like IPAs. I mean,
He's
for
coming
me,
around.
I'm all over that.
I'm getting there. I liked it. I gave it a 3.5. I thought it was okay. A little bit. I've had boozier,
Oh, I've had boozier too.
but that was like a creamy. That was just a nice beer.
I enjoyed the
might have
one
been a
from
little bit
last
on the
week.
old side.
oh yeah, that was
More than that. I mean, where last week that one that was really heavy-handed was my beer of the week.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
will not be this beer this week.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that, Senior. You know what I mean? Like, I just think like the booziness and the sweetness really just. I think that's really what put the nail in the coffin with this one. So
Yeah.
what
I liked it. It was okay. Would I order it out? Probably not because it's a bourbon barrel aged.
Yeah. What about the Queen Hops Hoppy Lager from Stouds? I enjoyed it.
I gave it a 3.25. Just something like in between beers. It's not like something I would like consistently drink, but it's just a nice little refresher. Like after you're done, like a boozier, beer.
After when I had, this is like the third or fourth stouds I had. It's my least out of the favorite. I do like their IPAs more than their hoppy lagers, but I think Stouds is a good company. I haven't had anything from them I haven't liked yet. Yeah.
I mean, for me, and I think we should remind people we're rating on a point scale from a 1 to a 5, which is Untapped.
Yeah, so if you listen to past shows, we were a little off with our thing. We always said 3 is average, when really it's not.
I think
3 is above average.
2.5.
2.5 is like average,
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people forget that sometimes on Untapped. But in any case, for me, it's like a 3. I mean, it's not bad. It's better than average, but it's not like there's nothing that stands out for me.
Yeah.
The Queen of Hops.
Queen Hops, yeah.
I gave it a 3.5. I don't know why. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why.
That's
For the guy who doesn't like
7.72.
hoppy beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I gave it a 3.5.
So we just
no,
poured,
you gave it a 3.5.
I gave it 3.5.
Yeah,
Our names are
I,
the same.
I know, didn't I? I know. I gave it a 2.5.
2.5. Yeah. Yeah, he gets confused and he sees our names. So for the 2009, I know we're in 2020, according to this episode.
For this episode.
But if you can give me 3 breweries that would be your top 3 breweries a year, who would they be? If you need time to think on it, we can go into this backward flag.
I could tell you mine.
Go ahead.
Like top 3?
Yeah.
New Trail, definitely. Because everything I've had from New Trail has been very, very, very good. And especially being an IPA drinker and a hazy IPA drinker, New Trail's been really, really good. Shangy's brought a lot to the area. They brought Three Floyds. They brought Toppling Goliath. And Toppling Goliath would probably be another big standout for me. King Sue. They had a double dry hop IPA, a couple of them. They were really, really good. And then, I don't know, for a third one, that's kind of tricky because I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot that kind of fell behind for me, but I'm trying to think of which ones kind of stood out.
Well, if you need time to think of your third.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, for me, the top two were Toppling Goliath, because it's new to us in the area, was a big, big one for me, and definitely New Trail. So,
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to go by just three kind of breweries that really took off for me personally this year. My number one is New Trail. Like, nothing I've had from New Trail that I'm like, man, I'll never drink that again. My number two is probably Rusty Rail. I had a lot of different Rusty Rails this year, especially on the show, and it's up there for me. And then my number three would probably be Rotunda. There's
oh, well,
yeah.
Now that you say that, three is definitely Rotunda for
Yeah.
me. I mean, in fact, like, so New Trail, I don't know. Yeah, Rotunda's actually my second.
Yeah, I would probably go New Trail, Rotunda.
I'm actually
Yeah.
sorry I didn't say that. Like,
Yeah.
now that I think about it, yeah. So number one is definitely New Trail for me. Number two is Rotunda, and number three is Toppling Goliath.
I think the reason why New Trail beats out Rotunda for me is I kind of already knew going into Rotunda that I liked it. Where New Trail was just like, well, who's this? And then I had it. And then it snuck in me again on tap somewhere else, and I was like, "All right, 2 for 2." And then we kind of talked about it. Then you brought some, and then I had it again somewhere on tap. Like, it's just been really accessible in this area, and it's delicious. Like, I love their beers. Like, their IPAs are better than I've ever had.
Have you had Tired Hands?
No, I have not. We might have had it maybe once on the show.
Tired Hands is very similar.
We had like very few of them. I know we had quite a bit, but
Yeah.
not a lot to expose us.
Yeah.
Just because it's
Now, all these
Well,
beers I'm
expensive.
talking about are all ones I've had personally. Like, these are and then, and then my a very close fourth runner-up, possibly third, can be Stouds. I've had a lot of their stuff at the hockey games. I really like it. But when it comes to the show, I mean, it's hard not to say South County. We had a lot of South County in the show this year, or last year. And then we had a ton of fucking other half.
and we had a year-old fucking gelato that still tasted okay from South County. That's fucking nutty.
Probably
figure.
the beer I was most anticipating this year, or last year. I think it was last year. Was that the Breakfast Club beer?
Yeah.
By Breaker Brewery.
Yeah, I think it was at 2018. I think we might have.
Oh,
had
really?
that. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Time goes by
That's-
fast.
yeah.
But yeah, so other half, I think when it comes to IPAs, you can't beat New Trail. When it comes to like the fruit flavored beers, I really love Rotunda. But they also do make really good IPAs with the Ultimate Sin.
Rotunda is just great. I mean, everything about Rotunda I love, and I'm so mad that I actually didn't say that, because like it's such a great group of guys there.
Yeah.
It's a great place to go, great group of guys, great food. Overall, it's just a really
another
home
one,
run for
another
me.
brewery, but I never had that much stuff of theirs because it's not easy to get in this area. I really like Abomination. I really like Tottered Flag, but we can't really, unless we're driving out of the way to go get a cans of it. It's hard to get.
You can get Abomination in Cunningham, Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they have it, but they don't keep up with it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we've had a few, but that would be my top three.
I know Shangy's is consistent with it then too. But
They're
then
consistent
you're driving
with Abomination.
driving to Allentown though too. Don't forget, it's not too far away, but at the same time though, might be like, hey, well, plan a day around, you know, if you're gonna go there, if anything.
This is interesting.
Because Shangy's really changed their layout in the sense that they actually had bottles all around the whole store, and then they have like a little like little area with cans, and that's where I would pick up like Omnipolo, and then like Omnipolo is like roughly where Abomination is then too. And they had about like 6 to 8 cans of Abomination there. I was like, oh wow, that's pretty wild. I ended up picking up some of that stuff.
I would love to feature them more on the show.
Have you been to Shangy's since they redid it with the crowlers and all that?
Where's
No,
Shangy's
they
at?
were like Shangy's is
Bethlehem.
in like it's in like it's like Allentown and Emmaus area. It's like the
Yeah.
borderline between like Allentown and Emmaus.
Okay.
So like when you go on 78 and you take the what is it, Hamilton Street exit, instead of making your left to go like into like where the record store and all that is, you make your right and you follow it out. You pass like a few car dealerships, and I think it's like a granite cabinet, not a granite cabinet, but like a granite countertop place. And like literally you'll see Shangy's. It's like this gray building, and there's like 3 layers of parking.
It's about
Overall.
like 15 minutes maybe from the Lehigh Valley Mall.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not a bad place to go. Like they have a lot of good stuff.
So what's your top 3, Ben?
Top 3 for me. I would definitely have to say, just because I
You live there. If other half's not on your list and you've put that much gas money into that place, I'm going to punch
And
you in the
Hudson.
head. And Hudson Valley. You need to buy a new car
It should
next
roll
year.
right off the tongue.
Yeah, you need to buy a new car for how much mileage you put into that place.
So definitely Hudson's one of them. I would say,
And you like because their hospitality is really good there.
yeah,
The people there, you enjoy going there.
You gotta go. You gotta go there in order. Like, there's a lot of places. Like they said, everyone here is like, oh, I go to a PA place or whatever, and I'm like, I would rather go for the whole experience overall.
You
like
you made friends. Yeah.
Made a lot of friends at Hudson Valley,
And that's respectable.
And it's really nice knowing that, like, even the one, It's Just Beer podcast, they were like, hey, do you guys want to come on? And
Yeah, we
were like,
we'll figure that
I'm
out.
like,
We'll get up there.
I said, like, I would definitely be game. It's just a matter of, your schedule and all, and your schedule
we'll
too.
plan. I mean, maybe
Those guys are fun.
Maybe all of us couldn't make it up, but we'll definitely try to make an appearance, or at least 2 of us.
Oh,
and
definitely.
I don't know what their setup is when it comes to how many mics they have. And
I think they have like 4. They have 4 guys, like 4 mics. They have a little bit of a different setup. They don't have like our mics. Theirs were like our old mic setup, kind of, sorta.
I feel
Because
bad.
you heard a lot of like
Background noise.
the chirping of
man.
the crickets in the
And,
summertime. But no, definitely that place is definitely one. Not really much other half, but just for the actual thrill of trying different styles, Trillium.
Yeah.
Trillium
If
was
I lived in
definitely-
Boston, that would be my go-to place. They're fucking amazing.
Trillium, I'm not even kidding you. If we laid out like 12 Trillium cans and we can pick out, like a different style, I think at least one of us would rate it as like a 3 or a 3.5. That's how consistent they are, as far as things go. And like for how long, if cans were sitting for like maybe about 2 months, when we open them up, boom. Like we would be rating them pretty high.
Yeah.
High up.
And your third.
I was gonna say Rusty Rail. I
Rusty
like
Rail.
Rusty Rail. I like the fact that they just go ham and they go and do the Imperial styles.
What's your favorite from Rusty Earl?
the Fool's Gold? I like the Fool's Gold peanut butter Hefeweizen. 'cause
Malty
it-
gigantic for me.
I really like their peach tea beer. It tastes
Yeah.
like a tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not-
There is another brewery that I definitely say when it comes to this show, I thought they were awesome this year. And that's Ingenious
Yeah.
out of Texas. They're that Infinity Gauntlet beers were unbelievable. The Breakfast Club beers, the breakfast cereal beers were
Yeah,
good.
I missed out on all that. I
Yeah.
would have loved to try that.
That was
yeah.
fun.
They were good beers.
We cuvee all those beers, and despite them having like 2 or 3 stouts in the mix, all the mixed up just as well.
Yeah.
It was nutty.
And your 3,
Oh,
as I get you mid yawn.
yeah.
I gotta still sound clip you for that bukkake.
Yeah.
Bukkake.
I'm going to do a brewery we have not tasted here. That I visited. Two Goats up in the Finger Lake region, wine country. There's a brewery up there.
Is it Chris Jericho and Ric Flair?
No.
No.
They have a nice little
It's
variety.
greatest of all time.
Had a few of their beers up there. Nice place. The second one, number 2, would be. Oh no, it just left my brain. Cortland Brewing Company.
Cortland was good. That was a good episode. Mike Vernalis was on that episode.
Yes. Cortland Brewing Company, they package probably a nice 6, 7 different types of beers. Mm-hmm. You go to the brewery and they got about 15 of them on tap.
Very nice guys too. When you told them that we were doing it, they reached out to me personally and had a conversation, and they said we're welcome anytime we're up in the area to go up and see their brewery.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Nice place, and their beer is really good. And my first, it was a coin toss between Cortland and Rusty Rails.
Yeah.
I just enjoy Rusty Rails. Their beer is good. Their building's phenomenal. Their food is good.
Yeah. So I think when it comes down to if we would have to give the beer of the year award, our brewer of the year award for the show, just overall votes, I think Rusty Rails number 1, number 2 Rotunda, and 3 is like a tie between. I don't think we had any other doubles.
No.
Yeah.
You forgot Neutral.
So it would be a tie between. Well, it would be a tie between Rotunda and New Trail for second.
Yeah.
And then number 1 would be Rusty Rail.
I mean, I don't know. For me, Rusty Rail, I mean, there's some really good beers there. Like Creek Surfer is a really good one for me. That's like a tropical IPA. Multi-Gigantic, which is their double IPA, is really good.
I think it helps them being accessible, but not being a big name. Like, so obviously when it comes to our area, when it comes to like craft beers that you can pretty much get anywhere, Trogs is it. Trogs is you can get Trogs and Victory. I think are the two you can't turn your head without finding one. Yeah. And I think your close third is Rusty Rail.
Rusty Rail for me is
I'm not a huge Victory fan. They're the hops they use just as
Dirt Wolf's good.
Some of their stuff is good.
Yeah.
But the hops they use just doesn't. I don't care for it.
Doesn't jive with you.
It doesn't.
I'll tell you,
Golden Monkey's good. Their cream ale is good.
The sour
is
like
good.
Golden Monkey is really good.
But
Rusty Rail is like the representatives for Rusty Rail, like the guy who I've gotten free tap handles from. Those guys are awesome. I
really?
mean, yeah. It is a really nice place. To me, Rusty Rail is a little hit and miss. I mean, it started there. Honestly, like their all the time beers are not some of my favorites. Like was it Rail Spike or something like that? Or I mean, I like more of the sidetrack stuff. They have this what they call their sidetrack series.
Have a Rusty Rail Oktoberfest too, which I thought was pretty decent.
Yeah, they have an October one.
I thought it was good.
What the name
I thought it was good.
But I mean, to me, they're kind of like one of those slides that go like this.
I honestly,
like with the bumps, I
think Rusty Rail could be.
and lows,
they could be a Trogs. I think they're at that level.
I don't think they're any different from Trogs, to be honest. I mean,
I think it could be better, to tell you the truth.
Maybe
the Imperial styles that they do. I mean, like
I actually kind of think they are probably better
Wow.
than Trogs.
Yeah.
I mean, who the hell makes a fucking Imperial Hefeweizen? No, you don't hear that.
It is a
whole
good
lot.
beer. The Fool's Gold.
Like you hear Imperial, like it's in their namesake. No matter where you like, whatever beer like in bottle that you pick, and it's just like that's really what blows my mind. You're like, hey, we don't give a fuck. We're going balls to the wall. We're hitting this hard. We're gonna go Imperial. We're gonna give you an 8% fucking beer, no matter what.
So what do we think of this Backward Flag Brewing Company, Valkyrie?
Let me get an R.
I'll
really
start.
Really malty
It has.
scent.
I can't really describe the taste I'm getting. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm going to be honest.
Me either.
I don't know. Maybe it's just this one beer. I'm sure the brewery has other cool stuff. It just didn't do it for me. It's not something I would go back to.
There are 1% to donate to veterans, so
that is very well. We definitely helped, and that is a good thing that you guys do. Obviously you're probably a veteran-owned brewing company, and that's amazing. But this doesn't do it for me. So if 2 is the average, right? That's what we're going with.
2.5's average.
2.5. Then all right. Well, then that help. I will go with 2. I think it's just below average. It's not something I would go back to.
I actually like it.
It has like that. It has like that floor. If a beer has too much floral to it, where it has like a flowery taste, that's what I'm getting. I don't even think it's supposed to have that. I could be just weird with it. It's not even in the flavor profile. Maybe it's the bitter and the orange. I don't know, but it's just not for me. So I gave it a 2.
Ode to the crew chief on the bottom of the can, by the way.
Yeah, I went 3.25. I didn't mind. This is not bad.
Yeah,
I-
it has
I
a weird
kinda liked
aftertaste. It has that weird back of the mouth taste.
Yeah, but I kind of liked it.
What about you?
It's like a 2.5 for me.
Yeah.
It's like right in the middle for me. I mean, it's been a little since I drank it here already, but I kind of remember it being a little too carbonated.
Yeah.
You know,
This is not as cold as it probably should be, but that might be.
that might be a good thing.
Yeah.
I definitely have to say, I mean, what it's trying to do, I think it's trying to be a real malty double IPA, and at the same time, though,
Whoa, easy there.
at the same time, though,
like
it's
them a
trying to do like too much of a zigzag, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
it's trying
it
to
has
do
a-
like. It's trying to do like, okay, we're gonna give you a malt, but we're gonna try and go tropical and finish it off. It really does have a weird finish. I would probably give it a 2.5, just solely because of that. And really, rather than just having a simple drinking beer, which it kind of should be for a double, it's just kind of doing a little bit too much, like I said, like a zigzag.
Yeah, I mean,
All right. So now we left it for last because
it is 8.2%, you know, and I didn't get that from it, so
Yeah, so I left this one for last because I had the single, the regular Broken Heels, on tap at the Compass Rose in Frackville, and oh my god, I fucking fell in love. And this is the first beer that I had from New Trail, and I was like, man, I need to put these guys on my radar. And then we went to Johnny's wedding, and I had them again.
Yeah.
And then I went to the Black Diamond and had them again. And then you brought a bunch, and then the cake stand got some, and I haven't had a New Trail I didn't like.
yeah.
So this is the double Broken Heels. Ben, there is a lot left in that can. I did take in a little extra pour because I'm very excited. So here we go, double Broken Heel. Last beer of the night, boys, unless we do the last one. So I'll wait till Ben pours his glass up. We'll put him up here. This is to our last year of 2019,
I've had plenty of it, so.
and to new beginnings for 2020. How is the double smoother? I think it's because it's not as cold.
Possibly.
It has a boozier aftertaste, but that is fucking like smooth as hell. That'll ruin your night if you have too many, though. That tastes like a 9 or a 9.5.
The flavor profile is spot on. Citrusy.
Yep. Mouthfeel, warming,
mouthfeel,
sweet,
warming.
and boozy.
Yep, absolutely.
Now this is not cold. This has been sitting.
Yeah,
This is a 9.2.
This has been sitting on the table for an hour now. So it's not. It's definitely just above room temperature, I would say. But it's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so good.
You're welcome.
That's about as perfect as you can get for being a double IPA. Would you agree?
I gave it a 3.75.
Well, you're not an IPA guy.
I'm
so
not an IPA
I can
guy.
respect that. For me as an IPA guy, that is a 4.75 for me. That is as perfect as you can get to making an IPA without me giving the 5.
I give it 4.25.
Yeah.
4.25. That's a fair assessment.
It's good. Mm-hmm. It's good.
So, you've had this so many times. What do you think? You've had it cold, warm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look and see what I gave it before, just because I gave it
I could help you out with that.
a 4.25. For me personally, it's a great beer. I love it as much as I love any New Trail IPA. I actually prefer the regular Broken Heels.
I do too.
Slightly more than this.
Just because you have less of the boozy taste.
Not to say that this isn't good, because it's very, very good. I mean, for me, anything a 4 or over is like excellent for me. So a 4.25 is really, really good. I probably gave Broken Heels maybe even a 5, maybe a 4.5. I don't know.
Broken Heels is fantastic.
Yeah.
I probably should go back and re-rate it because I probably didn't give it as high as I should have.
Let me see what I gave Broken Heels. I mean, I'm guessing it's probably like...
I don't think I gave it enough justice. I probably should have. Let me see here. Broken Heels. And if you want to follow us on Untapped, what did I give it here? Broken Heels. I gave it a 4.25.
Yeah, so I gave it a 4.5, which makes sense. But, you know, honestly, for me, Broken Heels is probably like a 5. I mean, I really love the beer. It's very good.
So if you want to follow us on we do have a group. I made a little group for us. So if you want to join the Bangin Beers podcast group on Untapped, you can follow myself at Bangin Beers podcast Tony. You can follow to my left Pops over here, Senior. I just hit the wrong button at MCFD Tony. So that's MCFD Tony. You can follow Ben at ColdWolf35. I don't think I have you in the group here. I do not. I got to add you to the group.
What the hell?
Not you.
Oh.
I don't have Jason in the group.
That's all right.
I don't know how to do it. Hold on.
Visitor_Q.
That is me.
Hold on.
Sit
Add.
on that pinball machine.
Edit group members. Add. There it is. Now you're in the group.
All right.
Visitor_Q is Jason. Is your last name Tobias?
It is.
Like the Never Nude. Tobias from what is that show?
Tobias was on NCIS. He
No,
was
but there was
the
a
FBI
Tobias.
guy
There was a
in NCIS.
Tobias on Arrested Development. He was the Never Nude.
Sure.
It's a good show. You have to watch it. And then we do have some other people that's been on the show a couple times. Dave Martin's on there. X Raptor X570. Scott Sharp with Sharp Cat 79. My little brother is A Black 32. Brett from the Cake Stand is Brett SKO. And then the Budwash, Colin Budwash is Budwash 31. That's Colin Budwash.
I have
And then-
Tyler then too.
And Tyler is Budwash 43. Yep. So if you guys want to follow those guys, that's our Untapped. Now, what are some things that you guys have planned for 2020? Beginning show of the year, kind of give people a taste of what you want to do this year. Maybe put out some bucket list goals. If you speak it into existence, it can happen.
I got all kinds of ideas for this crazy show.
You would be surprised at how many things I said I wanted to do and just put it out there in the world and someone listened to and it happened. So you always just speak of it and it can come to existence. I'm just being dead. It sounds corny, but it's true.
And I'm getting all eyes on me about it.
Well, I'm starting with you. Don't make me hit the button, Ben.
No, don't hit the button. Come on.
We haven't had a button hit yet.
Seriously?
He's been good. That button keeps him in check.
Yeah.
No, come on. No. Come on. I would love for you guys to actually enjoy some of the breweries that I like going to. Like
Well,
overall,
they're
even
14 hours away.
I know. Well, but still though, like maybe like plan like an overall
My own
like
father lives in New York, and I haven't gone yet.
like an actual like like actually do like a trip like go like a circuit like maybe for a few days go to one and then
Okay.
kind of go like that. I would like to do that at one point.
Okay.
That's eventually
Yeah.
once everything's all said and done. Definitely Hudson would be one of them, just because, you know, I talk fucking big dick energy game about them, but they are good. They actually released a stout then too, which
Okay.
is surprising. They did, I think they did a marshmallow or coconut one. That's not me. I shut mine off. But like industrial brewing company is like literally 5 minutes away. Their tap house. Love to go to Trillium with you guys, just solely.
I would just
because-
love to go to Boston.
just solely because that's just a real cool place to go to, and I know for a fact we would definitely have a great time there. Just overall good tasting
yeah, I
beer.
just want to experience the city of Boston.
Obviously, I'd like to do more brewery like excursions just around the area, especially one Shoe Brew is in Pittsburgh. I think I liked the one page, and like the brewer actually invited me on the one other page that they had then too, and I'm like, oh okay, I'll go with it. I'm like, oh shit, like this is gonna be pretty interesting. So they based their beers off of like video games and stuff then too. So like
Sounds fun.
they did like a King Boo like blood orange IPA or double or triple like last year, and it's pretty wild. They even had glassware for it too. I was trying to get that. That's how
I love King Boo. Bowser's my favorite, but I like King Boo.
But they do a lot of cool stuff there. They actually serve food as well. And Shoe Brew is kind of like going off the new trail, like boot, the boot trail marks or the boot imprints. What other ones? Just like going to like certain.
So you want to travel? Ben
like
wants to travel.
certain little areas for breweries that we can all hit up in like one shot. Like
Yeah.
one like. if we do like 2 days, we can hit up like maybe like 5 in a day,
Yeah.
if anything.
Like I said, Ben wants to travel. What do you got, Jason?
I mean, look, I want to do like the most hated beer. So I want everyone to bring like the beer they hate the most. And I want
like that.
everyone to try it.
I
So
like that.
I want to see what's the
You want to do more like show gimmick stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I
love
want
it.
to do all kinds of crazy stuff, you
Yeah.
know? Like, I want to do, like, a malt liquor challenge, so I want to do, like, a Colt 45 versus, like, Old English.
That
like,
has
night or
happened,
something.
but we
That
can do
did-
it again.
Yeah.
It happened round 2.
I want to do,
Fucking
like,
goodbye.
a bracket of that.
upstairs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Make sure we get the date for that so I can take a few days off of work.
Yeah, I need
Really
stomach
cool.
coating so I don't
And I mean-
diarrhea for 4 days.
If you want to travel, I mean, I've been to breweries before. There's nothing like Treehouse.
Yeah.
It's an event.
That's definitely one I want to hit
I
up
mean,
then,
and if
too.
you go to Treehouse, you can go to Connecticut Valley Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Connecticut Valley Brewing Company is in South Windsor, Connecticut, and then you travel up to go to Treehouse.
What's the one? Is it the main brewing company that does like breakfast, lunch, dessert, like those beers then too that you know of?
Where's that?
I know it's definitely upstate, like definitely New England states.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity, like between like in 2017, like some people bring up like from like Maine, like the Maine Brewing Company, breakfast, lunch, and then dinner.
Yeah.
And then those IPAs are just in actual bottles. I think you would actually like them too, Senior. I think you would. Just over, like I know you're not that type of guy. You'd be like, they're pretty good.
I'm getting there on the IPAs. IPAs.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd
Gotta
like
get you on the right track. That's really what it comes down to, I think.
I want to like stouts, just my taste buds taste coffee, and there's nothing I can do about it if I don't like the taste of something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do about
Hey,
it.
we beat the fuck out of you with those sours, and then lo and behold, you came out.
A
of the
sour
woodwork.
taste is different than a coffee taste, though.
But I'm just saying. Overall, you're like, oh my god, and
like,
you're like,
I don't
this
think
is
there's-
not bad.
I don't think there's a day in this planet where I can turn around and say, like, I like the taste of coffee all of a sudden. But I could be wrong, because at first when I drank craft beers, I didn't like hoppy taste either, and now it's my favorite. Mm-hmm. So who knows?
and there's a couple guests that I would like to have on the show for the new year.
Yeah.
A couple people I have ideas.
What about you, Senior? Pops?
I like the
I
fact
like
that
the-
it's like Schuylkill County choppers. You're like
Yeah.
senior and junior. We have to do the. We have
We
to
just don't yell
reenact
at
the
each other.
meme. We have to reenact the meme.
You gotta grow a handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
Well, where's
that?
Damn
what's
it,
the
Junior!
other
I like
brother?
stouts. They
Austin.
taste like
No, but what's the guy in the show?
I never watched it.
The one
Tuttle.
that's
The Tuttles.
the, like,
Tuttles.
the one that's Mikey.
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 Yeah.
there you
Yeah,
go.
Mikey.
Is Mikey the one that they like?
No,
then
he's
the
the,
other
one
one's-
that's a little like
Mikey's the one in rehab.
he's a little.
Oh my
off, you
God.
know? Yeah.
I can imagine. We can do like the memes, like Senior be like, "You better." It's like stouts are actually pretty good, Junior. It's like, but they taste like coffee to me. No, they do not. Like fire the
Throwing a
chair.
chair.
Yeah.
There's still some
Oh
of
my God.
this left.
I like the travel idea.
Yeah.
I do like the travel idea. And I think possibly another female episode. You did it. You did an episode with
Oh
all,
yeah,
all
banging
women.
beers
Yeah.
with bitches.
Bangin' beers with
Bangin'
bitches.
beers
We did not
bitches.
name it. They did.
They
Yes.
coined it. They accepted the fact that it was
So-
a coin term.
So I think what when it comes to the guest spot of the show,
Mm-hmm.
it's not something that's going to happen often, but it's not going to be like before we had a full band on.
Banging beer with bitches.
Not kidding you. It
I-
happened.
Yeah,
It happened.
it was fucking hilarious.
It was great.
I want to talk about a favorite. I want to talk about a favorite moment of that episode. So Scylla was sitting right where you're sitting, and she's never had a sour before.
Uh-huh.
And we're all talking, and she takes her glass and sips it, and she just looks at her mic and goes, "Ah!" and just screamed because she got it. Like, you know when the first time you have a sour
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
hits the back of your neck.
Yes.
She was already kind of tuned up because
Yeah.
the episode was pretty long,
God, yeah.
and it hit the back of her throat. And
Hard.
And the only thing that her brain could register to do was scream, and she did it on mic. It was fucking hilarious.
Oh, it was perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But so guest spots. Realistically, I can do a sixth person. Like, we have 5, but I can do 6. So all I really have to do is just slide my chair down one and just move the camera back, and we can do it.
Right.
So when it comes to guests, the most we can do at most is 2. So if we have our full crew, we can always have an open seat for someone to come in and try. Like I would love to have Sharpie back because Sharpie's still new to the craft beer. So it is cool to have like someone who hasn't been on or hasn't had certain stuff to open their eyes to it. Andrew Hare is someone I would have on a lot more often. You know, and bring back Matt Sprague, bring back Cheesefoot. Like, there's a lot of cool people that we can bring on, but like the days of doing full bands probably wouldn't happen anymore. That's more interviews, everyday people. And if they want to have some beers on it, we can do that as well. But it's not catered to the beers; it's just catered to the interview. For me, I would my top of the heap, and I know maybe to you guys it doesn't mean much, but to me it would. I would love to sit down with someone from the Yngling family, and
Hit
just
that button, Ben.
I would. I mean, like I said, I'm very proud of my local area. I'm proud of. I like local history, and I mean, they stood the test of time. Like every town in this county had their own brewery, and they're the only one still standing. That's got to stand for something. I would love to know the history of that family and how they came about and what they're doing, and just kind of have that in with the Yngling. Like I'm like I said, I like their beers. I know a lot of people dislike them for whatever reason they do, but I'm a fan. I would like to either do an episode in the mansion, in the brewery, during somewhere, like anywhere. I would just like to do an episode there. So that's my golden number one. New Trail. I would love to do something at New Trail. Just because New Trail and Rusty Rail, just because, you know, they're very high in both all of our lists of beers. I think it'd be fun to do, and they're kind of local. And I want to educate myself more on beers, not just tasting them, but understanding what goes into it. I don't know much about it. I do know there's podcasts who are very more well educated on that stuff than we are, or I am. And I mean, I don't want to turn the show into like where someone listens, they're like, I don't understand what they mean. So I would like to maybe bridge that gap a little bit, because I think when it comes to everyday people, interviews with everyday people, that is something that spans across all of our shows. Because we're just everyday people doing this. We're not professionals. We're not brewmasters. We're not professional nerds. We're not well, Andy's a professional wrestler. But we're coming at it from an angle of an everyday person. You know, we're not trying to act like we're super knowledgeable. We're just doing it from our take. You know what I mean? And I think that's what shines for our show, is that we shine as just regular, normal people you can see on the street.
Right.
And so I would like to maybe help bridge the gap for people who may be craft beer fans or not craft beer fans, to maybe understand something that they would like and maybe educate them a little more.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, so that's what I would like to do.
And I kind of like thought of like 2 more, like when you mentioned, I'm pulling a Ben. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
There it is. You hit a button on me, I'm hitting one button on you.
So
boy.
anyhow, one of the things I would love for this show to have is a collaboration beer. Just like any brewery, if they're cool about it, have a collaboration beer. Like we kind of like do some.
Oh, so we have a podcast beer.
So yeah,
Bangin Beers collaboration beer.
Listen,
Yeah, so, like-
I know it costs money.
Mhm.
I don't have it, but we can figure out a way to try to get it. You
I
know
know.
what I mean?
I know one guy. I know one brewery would be game for it from the standard recipe of theirs.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
That would be a cool experience if we had a podcast beer.
Mhm.
I mean, so kind of stuff that it's not so much in the works, but I mean, it's kind of, like I said, we'll be at Mellow Mink. We will be at this year's Brewfest again with new equipment, and it's going to sound and look better, and it's not going to be delayed audio to the video. It's going to be actually good. I was really happy with Brewfest too, man. Like, I sat down with really cool people and met a lot of really cool people, and it just sucks that the video and the audio were completely out of sync.
Yeah.
I'm not a tech when it comes to how to fix all that stuff either, but I'm getting better. A new laptop is definitely going to help, so I'm working towards getting that. But yeah, like even like a GoPro. I'm trying to get a GoPro so we can walk around more.
Yeah.
And the thing I was looking at too is possibly like wireless mics, like little lapel ones, and then we can like. So I'm looking at something like that as well. But yeah, so that would be cool. But then we have, like I said, we have Mellow Minx is 100% locked in. We are looking at doing something at some local bars. That's another thing I'd like to do. I'd like to go back to McNiff's.
Yeah.
I would like to go to like other bars, like just show up at a bar and we'll do like a hosting of the podcast, and people can meet us, and maybe even not record it, but just kind of go there and kind of get some pictures with people and meet people. If we record something small, that'd be fun too. Maybe not a full episode, but we'll work it out.
Can we take it to One Stop?
Yeah, we can go to One Stop.
Might get stabby on the episode.
That'd be all right. It'd be fun.
Yeah, right.
It'll be
It'd be fun getting stabbed.
It would probably be Ben getting stabbed.
No.
Oh, I'm
He'll
definitely not getting stabbed. Somebody's gonna get fucking shot before they get stabbed. It's
The
definitely not
One
gonna
Stop
be
is
me.
like
Ben doesn't even know a gun.
a very interesting place.
Yeah,
I've seen many like inclinations of the One Stop since
I
I've
would
been
I
there.
would like to educate more of our local listeners on where they can get stuff.
Yeah.
I like
Yes,
that a lot. Like the
yes.
Cake Stand, Craft House, like
Right.
those places. Like
Yeah.
maybe they don't have to go to Allentown to get beer, but if they like that brewery,
Sure.
this is where they can get it. I would like to do that as well. But yeah, but that's pretty much all I got here. We're gonna wrap it up there. Plug wise, do you have anything out of the ordinary? I don't have anything to plug really.
Not really, but my other thing, I like to have Dave Gates back.
Oh, 100%. Dave was
Yeah,
fun.
he was really fun. He
Dave-
brought his own beer. It
Dave
was
might actually meet us at Mellow Minx.
get the fuck out of here.
That's
wow,
up, that's up in his
gonna
neck.
be pretty cool.
He performs there a lot.
That's nice. Yeah.
So we might have Dave meet us at Mellow Minx, and we also might have another guest of the show meet us at Mellow Minx as well. I don't want to put it out there in case he can't make it, but we'll give a hint. He tried to develop film.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, so that's the thing too. Like we go out to breweries, and some people that were on past episodes may. Dave actually linked us with Mellow Minx. Like he brought the Mellow Minx. We tried it on the show. He showed them that and they're like, man, anytime you come over,
Right.
which is fun. Like that's the whole point
They
of this.
did more like saisons and like wild ales. And
Yeah, it was-
pretty
it was
good.
fun.
I like that. I like their beer.
And then Harris Brewing Company at Harrisburg is the first black-owned.
Oh yeah, that's
brewery.
another one I was like kind of interested in too.
We
Definitely
met
interested
I
in.
met them at Brewfest. Super cool dudes, and I mean to be the first black-owned, community, and they're very proud to try
Did
to
they
get
do Yellow Belly?
No, they did not do Yellow
Get out.
Belly.
That I can't find that anymore.
That is like black owned though.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
It is. Yeah.
So a black-owned brewery made a
So-
Ku Klux Klan beer.
Yeah.
The Yellow Belly. Yeah.
So Yellow Belly is like, so that makes sense now. So Yellow Belly was like a term of like you're a coward.
Right.
So they called the beer Yellow Belly and then put a hood on it.
Correct.
To say like you are a coward because you are a hood.
That is correct. Yes.
So if you look at it
There you
visually,
go.
you're like, oh,
There's
this
a good
beer is
reason.
supporting Ku Klux Klan. But then you look at the name of the beer,
Right.
and they're pretty much calling them pussies, which
Correct.
they are. If you're gonna be racist, take your fucking hood off, coward. Yellow Belly, hence the name. But yeah, Harris, I'd like to. I'm in works. I'm talking to them as well. But yeah, like I said, Brewfest, I'm really excited for to meet new people. That was
Yeah.
really cool, man. Like
Yeah.
people just came and sat down.
Definitely.
Brewfest is going to be a day where I'm going to have like 6 chairs going. So pretty
Yeah.
much what I'm going to do for Brewfest is kind of have most of us on one side of the table, and then kind of leave the other side so people can walk in and
like
sit
face
down.
off.
Yeah,
We face off against either like
Yeah.
like
like we may have
triple
like
tag.
like that spot right there where we might put a chair
Yeah.
so keep people
Yeah.
on camera. It's like, but Brewfest was a fucking blast. I wish you would have been at the table more. We met a lot of cool people.
Well, that's gonna change.
Ben,
This,
ben got a
this
little.
year.
He got excited to meet the
this year.
breweries and not so much the people.
It is what it is.
But he made connections that day.
Cool.
He definitely made connections.
That's gonna change this year though.
Yeah, you're gonna. So if
I'm
you're
gonna scoop up 2 and then bring them to the table.
if you're excited to meet Ben, you can definitely meet him this year at Brewfest.
I'll be signing
around.
autographs all day.
yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
Wait, before we go, have to review our beer of the night.
Oh yes, good call.
Yes.
Not only that, I like to do an Omni Polo episode because they do like some wacky beers. Like
All right.
if you talk about wacky beer, like Salvador Dali fucking beer, that they're like the kings of it. They have like a peach pancake lassie fucking goza, but
Okay, so
Just
beer of
give
the
me-
night. All right, so we got our lineup. I'm not
Okay.
counting my heliocentric new trail. That was my.
I'll go first.
All right, go ahead.
There's my beer of the night.
What?
That's my
no,
beer of the night.
you just move it up. Boop.
All right, that's my beer of the night.
No, I'm not even close with that one. Go ahead.
It's the Broken Heels, the double Broken Heels. That's my number one.
So now we're going
Yeah.
like one pace.
Go ahead,
We're
Ben.
doing chess. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one too, just because. Yeah,
All right, so what would your number 2 beer,
The Sip of Sunshine.
Ben?
You gotta like put it up there and then move it back, and then put it up there, and move it back. And
it's
then
like chess. Yeah,
Each
you
it up a
keep
little
your
bit,
hand
yeah.
on it and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
move it
yeah.
until
That's
you're
right,
good and
right.
ready.
Oh,
I gotta go with that. Just,
wow! All right.
Just solely because.
Yeah.
I really like Sip of Sunshine.
Yeah.
But I've had Sip of Sunshine before in other types of beers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Stouts, Hoppy Lager as my number 2.
My number 2 is going to be a New Trail.
New Trail. So
Yeah.
so all right. So it's a 3-way tie for second, and then New Trail is our clear number 1 of the night.
Yeah.
And New Trail was very good.
But that's an IPA. You're not an IPA fan, and that's a double IPA.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I would probably order that in a bar if it was available.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
You know, I not being an IPA fan, but I thought the Valkyrie was really good.
Cool. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for Bangin' Beers podcast. Thank you, guys. That onward to 2020. We have a lot of cool stuff going on. It's going to be a weekly show again, so every Sunday
Cool.
it'll be back. So we'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. And enjoy some music here from Faith in Exile.